This is it, what? Cohiba lit, what? We got that yak up in the cup and getting bent, what? Put some smoke in the air, this your shit, what? And raise your glasses if everything classic. This is it, what? That Chiba lit, what? You got some drink up in your cup and getting bent, what? So put some smoke in the air, this your shit, what? And raise your glasses if everything classic. Stogie light in it.
You were tuned in to G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. We got a big fight this weekend. Vergil Ortiz versus Maurice Hooker. This is the official breakdown and prediction video. I had to put the lab coat on. I haven't put the lab coat on in a while. Last couple breakdown and predictions, I was able to pretty much call them without doing any film study. But actually, I actually pulled out the lab coat for this one and actually pulled up some old footage of Vergil Ortiz and Maurice Hooker. And it's an interesting fight for a couple of different reasons. Vergil Ortiz, undefeated. He stopped everybody he's been in the ring with. And he is the hot prospect on the verge of contender status. And we all know in the sport of boxing, when you're the hot prospect on the verge of contender status, you have to fight one fight against one person that's going to basically give you the green light and give you the stamp for contender status if you get the win. This is that fight for Vergil Ortiz. He beats Maurice Hooker, and that's his stamp, his announcement into the 147-pound division. And I'm talking upper echelon. I'm talking the Sean Porters, the Keith Thurmans, the Yordenis Ugas, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., amongst those names. The hot prospect needs the one guy with the name to get the victory over to achieve that, and this is Vergil Ortiz's opportunity. Now, the thing that makes this situation so unique is Vergil Ortiz's opportunity is coming against a guy that has a good name, good guys on his resume, but he's a natural 140-pound fighter. So that's what makes it so interesting. Maurice Hooker is a guy that good reach. He can box. He's been in the ring with Jose Ramirez in a unification fight, and at 140 pounds, and he was doing okay in that fight, and Jose Ramirez ended up stopping him. He was also in a championship fight against Alex Salcedo, and big shout out to Alex Salcedo, who is actually retired from the sport of boxing, which is crazy because he's like in his mid to late 20s. So big shout out to him. I hope all is well with him. But Maurice Hooker fought Alex Salcedo, and Alex Salcedo was putting the pressure on Maurice Hooker, and Maurice Hooker weathered the storm and ended up getting Alex Salcedo up out of there. So Maurice Hooker is not he's not the easiest puzzle to solve when he's on his game. So it makes this fight very interesting because Vergil Ortiz, of course, is going to be on the front foot. He's going to be trying to track down Maurice Hooker. But if Maurice Hooker jab is working and is pumping and it's effective, it's going to make it that much harder for Vergil Ortiz to actually get to his preferred punch range so he can actually get his punches off against Hooker. Now, there's a couple of things with this fight. Number one, Vergil Ortiz, how active is he going to be with the jab? Because he's at a reach disadvantage. He's going to be doing a lot of stalking, a lot of tracking down. I'm not saying that Maurice Hooker is going to be running, but he's definitely going to be boxing. He's definitely going to be on the back foot. He's going to be trying to pivot, turn Vergil Ortiz as much as he can. Like, I pretty much know what Hooker's game plan is going to be, but is Vergil Ortiz going to be consistent with the jab? That's going to be very important, because when you're facing a guy that has a longer reach than you, you still want to out jab them, Like, one of the guys in the sport that's not known for their jab, but he pretty much out jabs everybody, and that's Sean Porter. And he's one of the shorter guys. You know what I'm saying? So just because you have a shorter height and possibly a shorter reach, that doesn't mean you can't have an effective jab. So it's very important for Vergil Ortiz to use that jab, use it early, use it often, and just touch him. Just touch him. That's the most important thing. Whether you got a jab to the chest, jab to the stomach, that stab jab, or jab to the head, like, you got to stay active with the jab and close the distance while you're throwing the jab. You know what I'm saying? Don't just throw it just to be throwing it. That's number one for Vergil Ortiz. Number two, he has to have patience. Like, he can't rush it. He can't rush it. Like, because if he go out there, try to blitz Maurice Hooker, and, you know, Maurice Hooker survives it, then Vergil Ortiz don't want to be in a situation where, you know, Maurice Hooker's trying to drown him late in a fight, 10th round, 11th round, 12th round, 9th round, and he's winded because he put out so much energy early. So Vergil Ortiz definitely needs to be patient in terms of his process of getting to his, to his kill zone, to his punch area where he can just get off all the shots that he want to get off. And the third thing with Vergil Ortiz is, don't be disrespectful inside of the ring. Like, in terms of just, oh, well, Maurice Hooker's 140. He's coming up to 147. He probably don't have no power, so I'm just going to walk through his shots. This is not one of them fights to be doing that. He definitely needs to stay defensively responsible and go through the process of putting yourself in a position, a good offensive position, to land your offense, and then just let the chips fall where they may afterwards. Now, as far as Maurice Hooker is concerned, like I said, his game plan is to box off the back foot early, get a body shot or two landed, and try to turn Vergil Ortiz as much as you can first half of the fight. Going to the second half of the fight, I think he really needs to come off of the back foot, start walking forward a little bit more in spots. Let Vergil Ortiz know you're not going to be moving around all night, and try to take Vergil Ortiz into deep water and see what you can get. This would be the first fight for Vergil Ortiz where it should be a good level of competition in this fight. And Maurice Hooker has the physical stature to make this fight interesting. Now, how do I think the fight is going to go? I think Maurice Hooker is going to definitely try to box first 4 rounds of the fight. I think Vergil Ortiz will be patient, and he'll pick and choose his spots and try to gauge the reach of Maurice Hooker and gauge the range of Maurice Hooker. I think pretty much from the 6th round on, I think Vergil Ortiz probably would have put enough body shots in the bank to slow down Maurice Hooker. And my prediction for this fight is Vergil Ortiz is going to get a TKO victory over Maurice Hooker, 8th round in this fight. But I think the fight will be it will be a competitive fight. We'll find out a lot about Vergil Ortiz. And I think that's how it's pretty much going to go. I'm hoping that Maurice Hooker really, really comes in and really try to put on his A game, because I really think physically he can give Vergil Ortiz some problems. But it's going to be real interesting to see how Maurice Hooker's demeanor is inside of the ring. I do feel like he's like a true fighter. Like, he's going to come in to try to win. But it's going to be interesting to see what his demeanor is going to be after the first 3 rounds, 4 rounds. I'm going to really know whether he's in there just to be in there or he's really trying to win the fight. But I think Vergil Ortiz is going to get a stoppage in this fight, round 8. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.